Hi, Glenda Mollett here, and I'm stamping in my craft room today, and we're going to use the lovely Lily Pad bundle from the 2020 celebration brochure, the stamp set and the coordinating dies, and we're going to create this lovely card. It uses some of the new, let me get it, Lily Impressions designer paper and the new Coastal Wave embossing folder as well. And I'm going to show you a trick how to make your how to do your sentiment with a die when the die is too small. I've done this before. I do it a lot. I make it bigger and I make it smaller, and it works perfectly every time. Okay, so lovely Lily Pad stamp set is free with a $60 order. The Lily Pad dies are free with a $120 order, but from now until the middle of January, anybody who places an order of $60 or more gets their name in the draw. I have 2 of these sets to give away. 2. So 2 lucky people are going to be happy. And then you still got 2.5 months left to get your stamp set to go with them. Okay, or the sentiment, happy birthday, comes from Little Ladybug. This is a set you can get for free with an order of $375 or more. So that's either yourself or a group of friends or have a workshop. I'm happy to do workshops. And we're using the Coastal Wave embossing folder, the Stitch So Sweetly dies. Okay. Get myself all organized here and we'll start stamping. Oh, the recipe. Yes, the recipe. Here you go. There's the recipe while I check to make sure I'm oriented problem. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Yep, we're oriented properly, so that's a good thing. Okay. This is a Glenda Mollett original, not cased from anybody. Sometimes that happens in my world, and sometimes it doesn't happen in my world. Envelope, card base, inside piece, and here's the inside and the envelope looks like. Of course, my envelope is not here because it's packed ready to go. Here's the piece we're going to emboss with. Some pretty peacock to layer with the designer paper, piece of white for the flower, piece of white for the sentiment, and this strip we're going to use on there. Okay, so step 1, when I find the embossing folder, here it is, and I need my blue embossing plate, which I forgot to get. My apologies. Got it now, so that I use the big shot. So we're going to slip this piece of Grapefruit Grove cardstock in here and run it through the machine to texturize it. I'm not going to quickly do it. I'm going to slow and methodically do it because I like going slow and giving my cardstock time to move. And switch plates because we're going to do die cutting again. All right. Look at the texture on that. Don't you just want to touch it and feel it and make it your own? Well, I do. I'm a tactile person and I like touching and feeling. And now putting some tear and tape on. And that's going to go directly onto the card base. My rabbit ears here. Sometimes it's a little more difficult when you have embossing. And that's just going to go right onto the card front. Centered and square, we hope. Whoops. Got a little carried away trying to remove that liner. Now I have to go underneath and pick the rest of the liner off. Come on. Come on. There we are. Sometimes a little persuasion is needed. Okay, so that's ready now. Next step is there's a piece of Pretty Peacock in behind this designer paper, and I want to stamp and cut out these leaves first, because it's all about making the most of your cardstock and not wasting any of it. So why not do your leaves from the center of something that you're going to cover up anyways. So we need 3 of them. And get the die. Turn this over again. And the first one is going to go on there like that. Now I'll just, oops, it moved. I'll fix it before I put it in the big shot. Uh-oh, I have a sneeze coming. Oh, hopefully it's not going to, I'm not going to sneeze and disrupt everything. That's never a good thing. That's one of my fears when I'm doing videos, is that I'm going to start coughing or sneezing and it won't be pretty. But at least you can't see it, you'd just be able to hear it. Okay, I've got 2 done. Like that. Got 1 more to go. There we are. And it's going through. Alright, so now we have our 3 leaves. Put the die back so I don't lose it. Get the designer paper. And we'll now put the designer paper onto that strip of Pretty Peacock. Oh, yeah, this is the 4th video today. I have 1 more to go. I'm surprised my voice is holding up as well as it is. Alright, so this is going to go right from top to bottom. So we just have to center it on the sides and make sure it's straight. That's not, but that's okay. I'm not sweating it. It is what it is. Now, did that? No. I am having issues with my rabbit ears, though. Oh, come on. There it is. All right. Now this can go onto the card. And it's going to go top to bottom on the Grapefruit Grove piece. I'm just going to take these off because they're becoming annoying, apparently. Alright, so pull back in the one we put the Grapefruit Grove on, and I'm going to get it lined up where I want it. Let's see, how far in do I want it? No, a little bit more. Yeah, right there. So line my cord up so it's straight. And it's going to go right from top to bottom. Make sure the flowers are pointed in the right direction. That always helps. Okay, so that can go back to the side. We're going to stamp the lily now in Grapefruit Grove onto Whisper White. And while we got the Grapefruit Grove open, I'm going to stamp the inside and the envelope at the same time. There's 3 different sizes of lily pads in this stamp set. I love all of them. Now, I need my scrap paper because this one, sorry about covering everything up, but that's okay. This one is going to go off the edge a bit, and the envelope's going to be the same. There we go. That back where it came from. And that's it for that. Let's stamp our sentiment. My happy birthday here. Let's give it a stamperoo. There we are. That's all the stamping done. Now let's do some die cutting. Okay, put those up there so I don't lose them. We need the flower and the die for the flower. Get it lined up. And we need the die for the long piece here. And when you're doing a die cut that's long and has kind of like a definite edge, if you put it onto into your die cutting machine crooked like this, you don't get that real hard thump crack, and it helps it move a little bit too. Now I want to make sure that this end is all the way on, because that's the end that's going to show, and then this end is not going to show at all. So if it's over the edge, it's not a big deal. There we go. All right. And we've already done the leaves, and I have to do the happy birthday separate. So we'll just do these two. Let's slowly go through. Now, if you wanted, you could put adhesive on the back of the strip of Pretty Peacock before you die cut it to help it go on, but I didn't do that. Okay, that goes there. And this, so there's the flower. Just need my die brush and get the little pieces out. So much easier to do this before you take the die out. There we are. Now we just have a couple of pieces left that'll just pop right out. Alright. And die goes back. Okay, so this, I'm going to use some Wink of Stella on. You could also use your spritz like we did on the last one. Apparently this Wink of Stella is almost empty. Uh-oh. Okay, that's not going to work because Wink of Stella is empty. So I'm going to get my shimmer spritz back. And we used the shimmer spritz on the last card. So might as well use it as I got it. And I'm going to do the flower too. And how about if we do 1, 2, 3 leaves? Why not? We can. It's our card. We can change it if we want. Okay, sugar spits right here. Give it a shake. Give it an initial spritz, not on top of your stuff. Spritz from far away so you don't get blobs. You just get a nice gentle mist. That's all it takes. There's a few little spritzies. And by the time I get everything put away and organized, they'll be dry. That's why you use rubbing alcohol and not water. So this is 70% rubbing alcohol. Not the 90%, because the 90% takes all the little metal pieces and glums them all together in one big unhappy smooch of muck. It's awful. Okay, so while those are drying, let's get them out of the way here. Let's do the sentiment. Okay, so the sentiment is this long. The die is this long. But there's a trick to doing it. So you line it up on one side or the other of where you want it. Then when you run it through your die cutting machine, you have your top plate only over a portion of it, like this. Because that way it doesn't cut that end. So let me just put it in here. Die cut that. Okay, so now I've got it out, and I put my plate here and I cut it so that there was nothing pushing that side of the die down into your cardstock. So you only get a portion of your die cut, the portion where you had the plate over top. And then to do the other one, then you figure out where you want it on that side, and then this one's really easy to line up because you have the scallops to line up with. So you push it around until it pops into the die cutting holes you've already made, and then you put your top plate over here so that it cuts this side and doesn't cut that side. Isn't that the coolest thing? I was so excited when I saw a video on how to do that. I'm not smart enough to come up with things like this on my own. So I am very thankful to all of those stampers out there that are able to do this kind of thing. So there you go. Look, pull that off. It absolutely lined it up perfectly. You can't tell where the one stopped and the other one started. And you now have a die cut that's long enough for your stamping, or short enough if you do it the other way. Okay, so now I'm not going to put dimensionals right here on the edge because I don't like it when my dimensionals sit at an angle. So I'm going to go back a bit from the edge because I do want it to be right up against or over top of part of that designer paper. So that's ready to go. Now this is dry. Look at how sparkly that is. Woohoo! So I'm just going to put some Tombow dots on it. Nice little dots. Whoops. Okay, well that was a blob. It's okay. Because it can dry a bit while I'm putting adhesive on the flower. See, that's better sized dots. Now if we just let that go off to the side and dry a bit, then those big blotches won't matter. And that's underneath the flower anyways, so it really doesn't matter. Okay, so now the flower needs to have some dimensionals on it. And just going to put them all over the flower. And one in the middle. Okay, now it's going to go on the front, and then we need to slip the leaves underneath. So I'm going to kind of figure out where those leaves are going to go. Now these two are going to go here. So they're going to miss the dimensionals altogether. See, they're going to go on like that, and I managed to leave a hole there. Now this one is going to go down here, and look at that, I managed to miss that too. So we're golden. Oh, can't put this on yet, this has to go on. See how it started to go clear on those ones? Now, let's see, right about there, I believe. Okay, I'm going to cut these two off because I don't want them to stick out past the flower. And if this pops up over top of that height of the designer paper and the cardstock, it doesn't matter because the flower goes over top of that. There we are. Now, let's take the liners off the dimensionals. Like that. And the flower is going to go right here. A little bit of glue on the end of the leaf and slide it under. So the flower is popped, but the leaves are not, so that just gives it a bit of dimension too. And I'm going to put one on top of the other. So you put the bottom one down first, and then you put the other one on top of that. Slides right in like that. There we are. Okay, let's put Yon Tombow away. Get the sentiment that we've already put dimensionals on. Take the liners off. And that's going to go right about there. Look at that. It's so pretty. Okay, let's add some bling, because you know that's what cards are all about. I have the bling. And one more. And remember, when you're doing your bling, it's all about odd numbers. You can put more than 3 on, but you don't want to put 4 on. You want to put 5 or 7. Okay, I don't like that one there. It's too close to that. I'm going to move it up a bit. There we are. That'll do. That'll do. Now we just have to put the inside in, and we already have it ready, so it's just a matter of putting the tear and tape on the back. And then I just have one more video to do. And then, yay! The start of my swaps that are supposed to go out on Monday. And of course I haven't started them at all. Well, I know what the card is. I just haven't. The card is created. It's just the swaps are not. But they will be. Today is Thursday. I still have a few days. And it was hubby's birthday yesterday, so we went out for dinner and had family time. So that took a little bit of time away from my craft room. Slowly to pull the rabbit ears. Don't go too fast. You'll have an issue like I did. There we are. We're done. We're done, we're done, we're done. Okay. So there's the cards. The original one, the new one. This one we spritz. That one I just used Wink Estella on. They're basically the same products. They're just different delivery systems. That's all. So that's card number 3 for the January monthly stamping club. I just have the O for the home to do. And that's for January 2020. And I'll be releasing it to the public in 2021. And don't forget that I have a draw going on for a set of the dies that go with the lovely lily pads. Place a $60 order by the 15th of January or the 16th if you're a club member, and your name will go in the draw. And I have 2 sets of these lily pad dies to give away. And then you still have 2.5 months to get the lily pad stamp set to match. So thank you so much for joining me in my craft room today. I truly appreciate you taking time out of your day to visit me. Happy stamping, and bye for now.